Hello, everyone. Welcome back. How are you all? Welcome. How are you? Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Come to beautiful name. Hey. Hi, dear Mitali. How are you? I am good. How about you, dear? Thank you so much for joining. Hey, dear Rasya. Mitali. Hello, dear Mitali. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Milan. Here is yours. Hi, dear Rasya. Here is your good name. How are you? Hello, dear Jenny. Here is yours. Hello, dear Addison. Here is your good name. Yeah. Hi, dear Teslin. Here is your beautiful name. Hi, dear Brajesh. Here is yours. How are you? Hi, dear Vivek. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Doha. Here is yours. Okay, what's your name? Hi, dear Vyuhi. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Kansu. Here is yours. Hi, dear Sumitra. Here is your good name. How are you all? Hello, dear Tobias. Here is yours. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, dear Tulasi. Here is your good name. Hey, dear Rano. Here is yours. How are you? Hi, dear Sad. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Alpha. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Himanshu. Here is yours. Thank you for joining. Hello, dear Myla. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Raphael. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Chandler. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Barry. Here is yours, Buddy. How are you? Hello, dear Aisha. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Ethan. Here is yours. Hi, dear Sophia. Here is your beautiful name. Hello, dear Vaishnavi. Here is yours. Have a good day to you. Hello, dear Aslam. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Nehir. Thank you for subscribing. Lots of love. Hi, dear Nina. Here is your good name. Hey, dear cat day. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Saifan. Here is your beautiful name. Hello, dear Deepesh. Here is yours. Hi, dear Alvin. Here is your beautiful name. Thank you so much for subscribing, dear. Lots of love. Don't forget to press the subscribe and like button, guys. Hi, dear Neil. Here is yours. Hi, dear Muha. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Anne. Let me check the spelling. A and here is yours. Kind of this. Hi, dear Saria. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Bulam. Happy birthday. Eagle. Hello, dear Purnima. Here is your beautiful name. How are you? Have a good day. Hi, dear Kalua. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Eva. Welcome back. How are you? Hello, dear Lemmy. Here is your beautiful name. Let me change the brush. Hi, dear Kalia. Here is yours. Hello, dear Carl. Here is a good name. I am fine. Good to hear, dear. Hi, dear Kashyap. Here is your beautiful name. Hi, dear Ali. Here is yours. Guys, there is a subscribe button waiting for your finger press. Don't forget to press the subscribe button. Hi, dear Daniel. Here is yours. Hello, dear Roser. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Huzefa. Here is yours. How are you doing, Huzefa bhai? Welcome back. Hi, dear Uves. Here is yours. Hello, dear Naz. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Zaira. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Suraj. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hi, dear Neil. Here is yours. Hello, dear Iman. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Nova. Here is yours. Hi, dear Anik. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Hanshifa. Here is yours. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hi, dear Zila. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Manny. Here is yours. Hi, dear Musa. Here is a good name. Oh God, what's going on? Let me drink some water. Just give me 1 minute. Have to clear my. Don't forget to double tapping, guys. Hi, dear Noor. Hello, dear Noor. Here is yours. Hi, dear Meva. Welcome back. How are you? Hello, dear Shiza. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Nisha. Shiza and Nisha. What are rhyming names? Hello, dear Tushar. Here is yours. How are you? Hi, dear Vase. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Kyle. Here is yours. What a unique name you have. Hello, dear Jessica. Here is your good name. Hi, dear love. Here is yours. Thank you. Hi, dear Elsa. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Nancy. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Mayman. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Silal. Silal. Here is yours. No matter, dear. I love you. Hi, dear Ansa. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Christy. Here is yours. Hi, dear Annie. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Mina. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hi, dear Amanda. Here is your good name. How are you? Hello, dear Viviana. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Chelsea. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hey, dear princess. Here is your beautiful name. Hi, dear Naomi. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Aishu. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Karthik. Here is yours. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, dear Isima. Here is your good name. Guys, if your name got done here, please double tapping on your screens and don't forget to press the subscribe button there. Hi, dear John. Thank you for your love and support out. Hey, dear Patu. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Ayla. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hello, dear Matthias. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Gob. Here is yours. What a unique name you have. Let's see who is next. Hi, dear Sean. Here is yours. Hello, dear Rifash. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Hasher. Thank you so much. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hey, dear Fido. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Nicole. Here is yours. Hi, dear Aaron. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Anu. Here is yours. Hi, dear Ishal. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Swati. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hi, dear Rifa. Here is your beautiful name. How are you? Hi, dear Aki. Here is yours. Hello, dear Isa. Here is your good name. Lots of love, dear. Thank you. Hi, dear Aruj. Here is yours. Thank you so much. Hi, dear Honey. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Sushma. Here is yours. How are you? Hi, dear Sudhir. Here is yours. Let's see who's gonna be the 30th liker, guys. Hi, dear Dishu. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Agarem. What a unique name you have. Hey, dear Agarem. Here is yours. Hi, dear Audrey. Here is your good name. Hi. Thank you so much. How do you know that my name is Ishal too? Hi, dear Gunjan. Here is yours. Hello, dear Jordan. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Rayu. Here is yours. Hi, dear Bahar. Here is a good name. Hey, dear Alia, here is your good name. Thank you so much for the love and support, dear. Love you too. Hi, dear Andrea, here is yours. Hello, dear Bella, here is your good name. How are you? Hi, dear Dala, here is a beautiful name. Hi, dear Sultan, here is yours. Welcome back. Have a good day. Hi, dear Sabbath, here is a good name. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Hello, dear Anika, here is yours. Hi, dear Citra, here is a beautiful name. Let's see who is next. Let's see who's gonna be the 6-7 liker, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing, everyone. Hi, dear Rajveer. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Suma. Here is yours. Hello. Hi, me. What's your good name? Hey, dear Pragna. Here is your beautiful name. Hi, dear Hodan. Here is yours. What a unique name you have. Hello, dear Dhwanet. Here, Dhwanet. Now, Dhavnet. Dhwanet. Let me rewrite. Dhwanit. Here is yours. Hello, dear Rida. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Mishari. Here is yours. What a unique name you have, dear. Guys, don't forget to double tap on your screens. Hi, dear Suji. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Hank. Here is yours. Hi, dear Andrej. Here is your good name. Andrej. Hi, dear John V. Here is. Just a minute, guys. Okay, thank you so much for your patience, guys. John V. Oh, I think I. John V. Here is yours. Hey, dear Evelyn, here is your good name. Hi, dear Shreya. Here is yours. Such a beautiful name. Hi, dear Ruby. Here is a good name. Guys, double tap on your screens. Hey, dear Darren. Here is yours. Hi, dear Zainab. Here is a good name. How are you? Hello, dear Reem. Here is yours. Hi, dear Christy. Here is a good name. Can you guys hear me? Hello, dear Inara. Here is yours. Hello, dear Bobby. Here is a good name. How are you? Hello, dear Bobby. Here is yours. Hello, dear Kanya. Here is a good name. Let's see who is next. Hello, dear. Can you guys hear me? Could anyone tell me, please? Lukia. Hi, dear Lukia. Here is yours. Hey, dear Darren. Here is your good name. Okay, dear, here is yours. Let's see who's next. Hi, dear Pandu. How are you? Lucio. Oh, no, Darren wants a screenshot. Hey, dear Somia. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Mahira. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Koho. Here is yours. Let me check the voice. Oh, yeah. Somebody is telling literally. Hi, dear Yuvraj. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Mia. Here is yours. Let me change the brush. Hi, dear Reem. Here is yours. Hello, dear Alicia. Here is your good name. How are you? Hi, dear Huma. Here is yours. Let's see who's next. Oh, let me hear the question. Funny Wi-Fi names you have seen. Okay, it's on now. Hello, dear Sophie. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Aya. Here is yours. Hello, dear Rohi. Here is a beautiful name. Hello, dear Tasmia. Here is yours. Neil, your name was done twice, dear, but why are you still spamming? Hi, dear Dishu. Here is yours. Hello, dear Tiffany. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Vanya. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Don't use too much emojis. Hello, dear Summer. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Kanika. Here is yours. Thank you for joining, dear. Hello, dear Arohi. Here is a good name. Have a good day. Hi, dear Reedy. Here is yours. And let's see who is next. Hello, dear Rosie. Here is your beautiful name. Hi, dear Ayan. Here is yours. Arjun. Okay. Arjun. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Moni. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Venan. Here is yours. Hello, dear Uday. Here is your good name. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, dear Anvi. Here is yours. Thank you so much for joining. I don't know what's happening with my finger. Oh no. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Don't forget to double tap on your screens. Hi, dear Sarah. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Gangesh. Here, here is yours. Hi, dear Alina. Here is your good name. How are you? Hello, dear Armani. Here is your beautiful name. Hi, dear Tanvi. Here is yours. Guys, double tap on your screens and don't forget to press the subscribe button. Let me change the brush. Hey, dear Noah. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Amna. Here is yours. Hello, dear Mina. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Al Jazi. Here is yours. What a unique name you have. Hi, dear Selma. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Mariam. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Sirat. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Sahid. Here is yours. Hello, dear Justin. Here is your good name. How are you? Hello, dear Amila. Here is your beautiful name. Hi, dear Rudra. Here is yours. Hello, dear Lovnish. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Suchit. Here is yours. Hello, dear Nitya. Here is your beautiful name. How are you? Hello, dear Snehal. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hi, dear Swastik. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Claire. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Sunena. Hi, dear Sunena with S. Sunena, here is your beautiful name. Hey, dear Alia, here is yours. Hi, dear. Oh, you're most welcome, dear. Hi, dear Fadil. Here is your good name. Guys, if your name got done here, so please double tap on your screens and don't forget to press the subscribe button there. Thank you. Hi, dear Keenan. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hi, dear Alif. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Lasya. Here is yours. Hi, dear Nova. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Swastik Western Mahi. Here is yours. Hello, dear Alif. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Mehdi. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Alexa. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Ron. Here is yours. Hi, dear Sanjana. Here is a beautiful name. How are you? Have a good day. Hi, dear. What's your name? Thanks for subscribing. Larson. Okay, dear Larson. Here is yours. Hi, dear Lacey. Here is a good name. Hey, dear Sahib. Here is yours. Let's see who's next. Hi, dear Carter. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Ash. Here is yours. Hello, dear Inaya. Here is a beautiful name. Hi, dear Vibhas. Here is yours. Hello, dear Hazel. Here is a beautiful name. How are you? Hi, dear Lean. Here is yours. Hello, dear Charles. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Horton. Here is yours. What a unique name you have. Hi, dear Ayla. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Manisha. Here is yours. Hello, dear Tayiba. Here is a good name. How are you? Hi, dear William. Here is yours. Thank you so much for joining. Kalim. Hey, dear Kalim. Here is yours. Hi, dear Aisha. Here is your good name. Hi, dear. Oh, thank you so much, dear. What's your good name? Welcome back. Hi, dear Veda. Here is yours. Alnud, what are you saying? I don't understand this language. Can you please write in English, dear, so I can better understand? What do you want to say? Hi, dear Umaya. Here is yours. Hi, dear Nandu. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Bhumika. Here is yours. Thank you for joining. Cynthia, welcome back, dear. How are you doing? Here is your good name, dear Cynthia. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, dear Ashley. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Ada. Here is your. Let's see who's gonna be the sixth time like it, guys. Hey, dear Azan. Here is your beautiful name. Okay, here is yours. ALNOUND. Here is yours. Hi, dear Huda. Here is your beautiful name. Hello, dear Aham. Here is yours. Hi, dear Isa. Here is yours. Hello, dear Fatima. Here is your beautiful name. Love you too, dear. Thank you. Hi, dear Shay Rose. Here is yours. Thank you for joining. Hello, dear Ayla. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Leo. Here is yours, Leo. Not Loy. Oh my god, what I am doing. Thank you so much. You are so cute. You are the cutest, dear. Thank you so much. And please do it. Oh, one name each person, dear. In the next live for sure. Hi, dear Kanak. Here is a good name. Hey, dear Emil. Here is yours. Hi, dear Pooja. Here is your beautiful name. Hi, dear Jigisha. Here is yours. Thank you for joining. Hi, dear Hilal. Here is your beautiful name. Hello, dear. What's your name? My name is Ishal. Hey, dear Maya. Here is yours. Hi, dear Zad. Here is yours. Hello, dear Mahisa. Thank you for subscribing. Mahisa. Here is yours. Hello, dear Samriti. Here is your good name. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, dear Mani. Here is yours. And hi, dear Giovanna. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Irisha. Here is yours. Hansika. Okay, after this, Irisha. Hello, dear Irisha. Here is yours. Hi, dear Hansika. Here is your beautiful name. Hi, dear Suknur. Here is yours. In the next live, dear Alnur, for sure. Please don't spam. Hi, dear Beanie. Here is yours. Hello, dear Hifza. Here is your good name. It's too hot here, guys. Double tap on your screens and don't forget to drink water. Stay hydrated. Just give me 1 minute. Anasha. Hi, dear Anasha. Here is yours. Hi, dear Yaran. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Parno. Here is yours. Hi, dear Simran. Here is your beautiful name. Hey, dear Bushra. Here is yours. Bushra. Hi, dear Mohit. Here is your good name. How are you? Hello, dear. Let's see who is next. Effie. Hi, dear Effie. Here is yours. Hello, dear Vinita. Here is a good name. Hi, welcome. Hey, dear Aileen. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Thank you so much, dear. Lots of love. Glad you liked it. Hey, dear Nivas. Here is yours. Hey, dear San. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Naira. Here is a beautiful name. Hello, dear Pija. Here is yours. Hi, dear B-Rock. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Amir. Here is yours. Hello, dear. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for subscribing, dear Jane Nanny. Here is yours. Hi, dear Afifa. Here is your good name. Afifa. Hi, dear Faria. Here is yours. Hi, dear Badgel. Is this your name? Here is yours. Eva. Hi, dear Eva. Here is your good name. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Don't forget to double tap on your screens and just give me 1 minute to tie my hair. Let's see who is next. Is your name Hashim? No. Hisham? If yes, hi dear Hisham, here's your good name. My name is Ishal, not Hisham. Hisham is a boy name, I think. My name is Ishal. Hello, Naruto, army lover. Oh, sorry, enemy lover. Here is yours. He's seen for you, dear. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, dear Loki. Here is your good name. Hello, dear. Hi, dear Ishal. Here's a good name. Thank you so much, dear. Hey, dear Lacey. Here is your good name. Hey, dear Bona. Here is yours. Hi, dear Evelyn. Here is your good name. Thank you so much for joining, dear Evelyn. Hi, dear Amina. Here is yours. Let's see who's next. You're welcome. Thank you. Hi, dear Wade. Here is yours. Magic Kitchen. You want me to write Magic Kitchen for you? Okay, dear. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hey, dear Vicky. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Bella. Here is yours. Hi, dear Sumaira. Here is your bigger name. How are you? Hey, dear Versha. Here is yours. Hello, dear Isha. Here is a good name. Let's see, guys, who's gonna be the 100th liker. Vijay. Hi, dear Vijay. How are you? Welcome back. I remember you. Hello, dear Krutika. Here is a good name. Krutika. How are you? Hi, dear Lydia. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Tanu. I am good. How about you, dear? Oh my god, Tanu. Tanu. Here is yours. Hello, dear Iman. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Lokesh. Here is yours. Hi, dear Kayan. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Nathan. Here is yours. Thank you so much for joining, guys. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Hi, dear Nisa. Here is a good name. Hello. Is your name is Ready TUTU Tutu? Oh wow, what a cute name you have. If this your name. Hi, dear Mona. Here is yours. Hello, dear Anu. Here is yours. Hi, dear JUM. Here is yours. Hi, dear CD. Here is your good name. You're most welcome, dear. Thank you so much. You are from Tamil Nadu. How are you? Here is yours. Hi, dear Nivas. Here is your good name. Oh my god, lots of. Hi, can you do Iman and Al Jazi for our graduation? Okay, dear. Here is yours. And what was the second? Al Jazzy. Just for you, dear. Have a good day. Please don't write your names in paragraph. Hi Lily, welcome. Hey Khalid. Hey Kasef, how are you? Just give me 1 minute. She's taking a screenshot for her name. So don't forget to double tap on your screens and oh my god, too much spam. Okay, it's okay. Oh, I'll be glad. Thank you. Glad you liked it, dear. Let's move to the next name, Ria. Hi, dear Ria. Here is yours. Hello, dear Avril. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Della. Here is yours. Hi, dear Sanya. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Fudger. Here is yours. Lots of love, guys. Hi, dear. Uh, can you write my name in Tamil? I don't know how to write Tamil, dear, cause I literally don't know how to speak Tamil and how to write Tamil. Hey, dear Alia. Here is yours. Hello, dear Bilal. Here is a good name. Hi, can you do a SL name? Why not? Your SL. Here is yours. Hello, dear Wade. Here is yours. For your response, thank you. You're most welcome. Hey, dear Dana. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Nivas. Here is yours. Hello, dear Adrik. You have such a unique name, dear. Hi, dear Ace. Here is yours. My good name is Ishal. Hi, dear Elaf. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Mariam. Here is yours. Guys, let's see who's gonna be the 100th liker. Hi, dear Asia. Here is a beautiful name. Hello, dear Valeria. Here is yours. Hi, dear Gauri. Here is your good name. How are you? Hello, dear Atika. Here is yours. For you? Hello, dear CEO Lay. Here is a beautiful name. Hi, dear Anmol. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Isabel. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Arthur. Here is yours. You're most welcome, dear. Lots of love. Hi, dear Anas. Here is yours. Hello, dear Amna. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Shiny. Here is yours. Hello, dear Essay John. What's your name? Okay. For you, dear, here is mine, and let me check the spelling of that name. Essay John. Okay. Aysyjon. Here is yours. Hello, dear Eliezer. Eliezer? What a unique name you have, dear Eliezer. Here is yours. Hi, dear Raye. Here is yours. Hello, dear Ayu. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Saksham. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Karan. Here is your beautiful name. You're most welcome, dear. Hi, dear Almira. Here is yours. Why? Don't know why the I is like Almira. Here is yours. Hi, dear Shyam. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Zumra. Here is a beautiful name. Hi, dear Naman. Here is yours. In the next live, dear. Hi, dear Zishan. Here is a beautiful name. Guys, double tap on your screens and don't forget to press the subscribe button. Let me. Let's see who is next. Naman. Hi, dear Naman. Here is a beautiful name. Hello, dear Janelle. Here is yours. How are you? Hi, dear Vihan. Here is your beautiful name. Vihan. Ah, thank you so much, dear. Hi, dear Sasa. Here is yours. Hello, dear Remy. Here is your good name. Glad, dear. It's an honor for me. Hey, dear Webho. Here is yours. Hello, dear Ishan. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Mudassir. Here is yours. Mudassir. Thank you so much. Thank you for writing my name. You're so kind and loving. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, dear. Lots of love. You are such a sweetheart. Hello, dear Divara. Here is yours. Hello, dear Adam. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Hiba. Here is yours. How are you? Have a good day. Hi, dear Hassan. Here is a beautiful name. Hi, dear Sabah. Here is yours. Hello, dear Aparna. Here is a good name. Guys, don't forget to press the subscribe button. Hi, dear Pepple. Pepple? Oh, what a name, Pepple. Here is yours. Hi, dear Riley. Here is your good name. Hi, what is your name? Hello, dear George. Here is yours. Hi, dear Mohit. Here is a good name. How are you? Hello, dear Minha. Here is a beautiful name. Oh, you're most welcome, dear. Thank you so much. Thanks. Hey, dear Iker. Here is yours. Hi, dear Avishkar. Here is yours. What a beautiful name you have. Avishkar. Hi, dear Shahi. Here is your good name. My name is Ishal. Hey, dear Evelyn. Ishal. Here is yours. Hello, dear Joksa. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Husna. Here is yours. Thank you for subscribing, dear. Thank you so much. Hey, dear Emily. Here is yours. Hi, dear. You want me to write this? Okay, here is yours. Hi, dear Tommy Purple. For you, dear. I don't know what is the meaning of this, but yes. Here is yours. Hi, dear Cherry. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Karthik. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Lian. Here is yours. Hi, dear Raima. Here is a good name. Thank you so much for subscribing, dear. Lots of love, guys. Double tap on your screen and don't forget to press the subscribe button. Hey, side. Here is yours. Let me adjust the sound first. Okay. Hey, dear Selena. Here is yours. Thank you so much. Hi, dear Raghav. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Oiku. Here is yours. Nice name, dear Oiku. Are you from Turkey? Hey, dear Miral. Here is yours. Hi, dear Naidu. Here is a good name. How are you? Hi, dear Harry. Here is yours. Hey, dear Teja. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Swang. Here is yours. Hi, dear Sidhu. Here is your good name. Welcome back. Let's see who is next. Please tell. What's your name, dear? Saika. Hello, dear Saika. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Dashana. Here is yours. Hello, dear Andrea. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Alia. Here is yours. Hey, dear Sassy. Here is yours. Hello, dear Cindy. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Mudassir. Here is yours. How are you? Here is a good name. Let's see who is next. Yashva. Hi, dear Yashva. Here is yours. Thank you so much for subscribing. Guys, double tap on your screens and don't forget to drink water because it's too hot. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Just give me 1 minute and stay hydrated. Ruhi. Hello, dear Ruhi. Here is yours. Hi, dear Momina. Here is a good name. Hey, dear Jerry. Jerry. Here is yours. Hi, dear Hosanna. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Habibullah. Welcome back. How are you? Thank you so much for joining again. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Rayan. Here is a beautiful name. Hey, dear Elena. Here is yours. Guys, double tap on your screens and don't forget to press the subscribe button right there. I am fine. Good to hear. Let's see who is next. Alina is done. Vaishalini. Vishalini. Here is yours. Hello, dear Ashbear. Here is a good name. Hey, dear Malak. Here is yours. Oh, hi, dear Angela. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Abdullah. Here is yours. Thank you for subscribing, dear Abdullah. Hi, dear Riwana. Here is a beautiful name. Hi, dear Ibrahim. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Hi, dear Sajid. Here is your good name. Hey, dear Ashy. Here is yours. Hello, dear Miley. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Taiba. Here is yours. I am fine. Good to hear. Have a good day. Hi, dear Isan. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Bindu. Here is yours. Bindu. Hello, dear Taki. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Fadja. Here is yours. What a unique name you have, dear guys. Double tap on your screens and don't forget to press that subscribe button. Insal. Hi, dear Insal. Here is a good name. Hi, dear SM. Here is yours. For which purpose, ma'am? Hi, dear Shruti. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Humaira. Here is yours. Hi, dear Mira is done, and let's see who's next. Luna. Hi, dear Luna. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Ayanj. Here is yours. Hello, dear Lana. Here is your good name. Let's see who is next. Hi, dear Darsh. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Ivana. Here is a beautiful name. Hi, dear Jasmina. Here is yours. Double tap on your screens. Hi, dear Gunchan. How are you? Let's see who's gonna be the 120th liker. Don't stop double tapping. Hi, welcome, Akib. Hello, dear Akib. Here is yours. Hi, dear Tanya. Tanya. Here is yours. Hello, dear Surabi. Here is a beautiful name. Hi, dear Renuka. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Haley. Here is a good name. जेठालाल का दोस्त कहाँ है? Hi, welcome. Hello, dear Abby. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Maliha. Here is yours. Hi, dear Mooney. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Cindy. Welcome back. After so many days, dear. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining again, Hanji. Sienna. Hi, dear Pooja. Here is yours. Nice to hear you. Lots of love, dear. Thank you. Hey, dear Arnob. So good to have you here again. Thank you so much for joining. You are from Brazil. Good to know. Hi, dear. Here is yours. ¿Cómo estás, Gitali? Hi, dear Gitali. Here is yours. Selsen. Hello, dear Subhan. Here is yours. How are you? Janvi. Happy birthday, dear Janvi. Here is yours. Hi, dear Anushka. Here is your good name. You are from Bangladesh. What's a good name? Mudassir, your name was done, man. Hi, dear Aaron. Here is yours. Hello, dear Malice. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Savannah. Here is yours. How are you? Hello, dear Avini. Here is a good name. Hi, dear Hamad. Here is yours. You are from India. Good to know. Umama. Hello, dear Umama. Here is yours, dear. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, dear Mudassir. Hi, dear Modesh. Here is yours. Welcome back, Amadullah. How are you? Mudassir for you. How could handle this while writing in life? What? I am good too. Thank you for joining again. Amadullah, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining everyone, and don't forget to press the subscribe and like button. Let's see who is next. Yash. Okay, dear Yash. Let me write Amatullah and Ata se. Oh God. Hello, dear Yash. Here is yours. White. Ata to white होता है ना? Hello, dear Lillian. Here is yours. Hi, dear Iman. Here is yours. Hello, dear Janek. Here is your good name. Hi, dear iBook. Here is yours. Thank you so much. Lots of love, dear. Hi, dear Lily. Here is yours. Hi, dear Rafa. Here is a good name. Happy birthday. Uh, hello, dear Kiara. Here is yours. But I eat my lunch. Thank you so much. Hi, dear Manasvi. Here is yours. That was yours. That was yours. No, I have done. Okay, it's okay. Okay, let's see who is next. Shreya. Hi, dear Shreya. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Arthur. Here is yours. Hi, dear. Hello, dear. You just conscious in your work, but you handle life also. That's like as left-handed, like too cool. Yeah. No, I am right-handed. No, I think I just have to read your comment. You handle life also. That's like as. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hey, dear Yeri, here is yours. Hello, dear मैम मैं दोनों हाथों से लिख सकता हूँ. अच्छा. Hi, talented हैं आप. Hi, dear Janvi, here is yours. सच बताऊँ पेंसिल से मैं दोनों से लिख सकती हूँ. बट थोड़ा स्लो. लेकिन सैंड पे आज तक ट्राई नहीं किया मैंने. Hi, dear Seema, here is yours. Guys, double tap on your screens and don't forget to double tap and don't forget to double tap and don't forget to press the subscribe button. Binod, hi Binod, how are you? एक साथ नहीं अलग अलग. No, I didn't mean that you left-handed. It's kind of precision in our friendly manner. Yeah, that's why I read your comment twice. Hi, dear Vishnu. Here is yours. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. मैम एक बार स्पैम करता हूँ ओके मत करो प्लीज. Hi, dear Rati. Here is a good name. Hello, dear Buglam. Here is yours. वो इनके उसका मतलब अब मुझे समझ आया. उनका मतलब है जैसे बाएं हाथ का खेल होता है वैसे उन्होंने उस तरह की एग्जाम्पल दी है ना. Hi, dear Abira. Here is yours. Hello, dear Tanvi. Here is your good name. मैम हुल का मतलब क्या होता है? Hi, dear Harish. Here is yours. वो तो जन्नत में मिलेंगी नेक लोगों को. Hi, dear Seema. Here is yours. नेक मर्दों को पूरे मिलेंगी पूरे. Hello, dear Anaya. Anaya, here is yours. मैम मैंने तो समझ लिया आपका आपका अभी समझ लिया था आप अभी काम कर रहे हो इसलिए पता नहीं. हाँ ना एक चीज़ पे फोकस होता ना फिर 2-3 दफ़ा पढ़ूँ ना फिर मुझे समझ आती है कमेंट क्या था. Hi, dear Minsa. Here is yours. क्योंकि ब्रेन डाइवर्ट हो जाता है. Hi, dear Rashila. Here is a good name. No, I'm not. I am not Indian, dear. Hi, dear Burha. Here is yours. Emma sounds like Indians. Maybe, yeah, क्योंकि हिंदी अच्छी है ना मेरी. Hi, dear लो नाम भूल गई. Here is yours. Hello, dear Risha. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Zarian. Here is yours. मैम जन्नत क्या होता है? बहुत ही प्यारी जगह है. Hi, dear Nadia. Here is a good name. Oh, you're most welcome, dear. Hi, dear Veena. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Let me check the number of subscribers. आप मेरा नाम क्यों नहीं लिख रहे? मेरा नाम आप मुझे बताएंगे, मैं ज़रूर लिखूंगी. क्या नाम है आपका? Viran. Hi, welcome. Viran. Amatullah, yes. Hi, dear Fazil. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Momina. Here is yours. Guys, it's time to end this stream. Don't forget to double tapping. Don't forget to press the subscribe button there. Ayushi. Okay, dear Ayushi. Yeah, I know, Amatullah. By your name. Here is yours. Ice cream. खानी है किसी ने ice cream? Did anyone want ice cream? Julian. Okay, looking for the last name for the stream. Hello, dear Simona. Here is yours. Let's see who is next. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. क्या क्या लिखा था? खुशी. Hi, dear खुशी. एक मिनट. एक काम था आपसे. जल्दी बोलिए, फिर मुझे एंड करनी है लाइव स्ट्रीम. Tinku. And now it's time to end the stream, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Khushveer. Here is yours. Okay, Cassie. Cassie is our last name for this stream. And don't forget to hi Mahi, Darren, Samara, Anushka, Ola, Manu. In the next stream for sure, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for commenting your name here, and lots of love. Take care, you all. मैं आपको हाँ मेरा नाम लिख दो, मैं आपको सब्सक्राइब कर लूँगी. अब मुझे एंड करनी है लाइव स्ट्रीम, बस इसलिए मैं जा रही हूँ. थैंक यू सो मच. अब कमेंट कर देना, ये ऐसा करना, बाद कमेंट कर देना इसी लाइव के ऊपर. हम आपका नाम का थंबनेल नेक्स्ट लाइव में ज़रूर बनाएंगे, ठीक है? पक्का, प्रॉमिस. बाय, टेक केयर. अमूल भाई, आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर कमेंट. जल्दी करो भाई, मुझे जाना है. टाइम हो गया है एंड करने का स्ट्रीम को. इतनी देर में मैंने लिख लेना था. इतनी देर में मैंने कितने सारे लिख लेने थे. चलो लिख लेते हैं जब तक अमूल भाई का कमेंट नहीं आता. गया ही नहीं, दोबारा लिख दें भाई. Darren. Hello, dear Darren. Here is yours. Hi, dear Ola. Here is yours. 10 बार लिख चुके हैं, बट मेरे पास एक बार भी नहीं आया. Hi, dear Mariam. Here is yours. And hello, dear Miral. Here is a good name. Guys, जल्दी जल्दी से. रेशु है मेरा नाम. Okay, रेशु. Here is yours. ये क्या है अब? Hey, dear angel. Here is your good name. किसी का हैंडल दे रहे हो अमल भाई? Hi, dear angel. Here is yours. 2 दफ़ा लिख दिया angel angel. अभी तक लाइक उधर ही स्टक हैं, देखो. चलो मैं चलती हूँ फिर. डोमस. मैम, निधि जी का चैनल है. Okay. Thank you so much for subscribing, dear. Don't forget to like the live. Anush. Hi, dear Anush. हाय डियर सारा. किसके रिलेटेड है बताइए. हेलो डियर यारा। ओके मुझे याद हो गया, ठीक है अमल भाई। थैंक यू सो मच डियर, लॉट्स ऑफ लव एरिक। Hey dear Eric, here is yours. Hi dear Noura, it is a good name. Hello dear, वालेकुम अस्सलाम। एक बार देख लीजिए। 45 याद हो गया मुझे, मैं निकाल लूँगी बाद में। Dahlia, here is your निधि जी आए नहीं, बड़ी देर हो गई है। Hi dear Lucas, here is a good name. Hi dear Jomana. Jomana, you have such a beautiful name dear Jomana. Here is yours. अच्छा भाई। हाय डियर मरियम, किस तरह का चैनल है पहले मुझे ये तो बता दो आप। रहने तो मैं खुद ही देख लूँगी, ठीक है। ओह अच्छा कोई बात नहीं। हाय डियर अराते, here is yours. Hello, I love your name, my name. Thank you dear, lots of love. Hi dear Akash, here is yours. What is your name? My name is Ishal. Hello dear Supriya, here is a good name. You know, Supriya is one of my favorite names. Hannah, Supriya and Ashleen. Hey dear Adriano, here is yours. हर कंट्री में से कोई ना कोई नाम मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है. Hey dear Yi Hang, here is yours. And Jungwon and is one of my favorite. Ishal, hello dear Ishal, here is yours. मेरी बहन का नाम सुप्रिया है, झूठ मत बोलो, मुझे पता है आपका. Hi dear Rudra, here is yours. Hello dear Veninka, here is a good name. Guys, double tap on your screens and जाने लगी थी यार. Akash, hi dear Akash, here is yours. Hello dear Tamanna, here is your beautiful name. Hi dear Pihu, here is yours. Hello dear, it's Gabo. How are you? Pronounce your name Manu नाम. आपको अच्छा लगता है क्या मानू? अच्छा नाम है. क्यूट नाम है, क्यूट मानू. Hi dear Arpit, here is yours. Dear Nikhil, here is your name. Hello dear Lisa, here is yours. Look. Hi dear Sarah, here is a good name. Hello dear Pallavi, here is yours. Hi dear, what's your name? Melache. What a unique name you have. Here is yours, guys. Cody. Here is yours. Hello dear Piyush, here's a good name. How are you? Hello dear Mimi, here is yours. Hi dear Arthur, here is a good name. Hello dear Naman, here is yours. Hello pizza. Hey dear Mad, मैम मोमोज आ रहे हैं. किधर आ रहे हैं? Here is yours. कहाँ आ रहे हैं अमूल भाई? Hi dear, oh, let's see who is next. Hi dear Arohi, here is a good name. हमारे घर मोमोज आ रहे हैं मतलब. Hi dear Arman, here is yours. Pizza for Pakiza. Hi dear Pakiza, here is your good name. Let's see who is ना. मैम क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो? ऐसे ही बस 5-10 मिनट बात करेंगे. Hey dear Madden, मैं देख रही थी 167 करके ही चले जाते हैं, बट हो नहीं रहे ना. Hi dear Ibrahim, here is yours. Amul bhai, did you like the live? Hey dear Kavya, here is yours. Hello dear Lama, here is your good name. Hi dear Mina Hill, here is yours. Guys, double tap on your screens. We are stuck on 142. Siona, I'm a huge fan of yours. A huge heart for you. Siona dear. Here is yours. मैंने कुछ मिनट पहले ही लाइक किया है, इसका मतलब 142 वाला आपका था. Hey dear Manon, here is your good name. Hello dear Idumash, here is yours. What a unique name you have. Hi dear Seema, here is your good name. Guys, stay hydrated. वाटर बॉटल इतनी ज़्यादा गर्म हो जाती है बड़ी बड़ी भाई. हाँ. What is your name? Siona. What is the spelling? Siona. Is this right, dear? Hello, dear Rohit. Here is your good name. Guys, निधि मैम मैंने देख लिया आपको. Where is निधि जी? मैंने क्यों नहीं देखा? ओह अच्छा, दूसरी आईडी है. Hi, welcome. Hi dear Rohit, here is yours. We are literally stuck on 142. Guys, can we make it 150 at least? 150 at least? Which board, dear? Catsy, yay for you. Hi dear Sifat, here is your good name. We are literally stuck on 42. Have to break this number. Can we make it 150, guys? At least. Hi dear Mahi, here is yours. Hello dear Ruba, here is your good name. Hi dear Hasrat, here is yours. How are you? Hello dear, what is your name? Aliza, here is yours. Hey dear Karen, here is your good name. Hi dear Shanvi, here is yours. Hello dear Akash, here is your beautiful name. Hello dear Hamza, here is yours. Hi dear Aradhya, here is your good name. How are you? Thank you for joining. Hello dear Muskan, here is your good name. Thank you for joining. Hi dear Ria, here is yours. Hello, thank you for subscribing, dear. What is your good name? Hi dear Atif, here is yours. Hello dear Sherbano. Sherbano, here is yours. Someone is asking how do I subscribe. So right there is a subscribe button. You have to just press it once and then let it be. Hey dear Kimura, here is your good name. Hi dear Kira. What is the spelling? Let me. Okay, is this really your name, dear? Hi dear Nate, here is yours. Hi dear Faiza, here is your beautiful name. Hi dear Janatu, here is yours. Right, you're going to feel the victory. Oh, no, we can't feel it. Hi dear Miyuki, here is yours. Hi dear Aisha, here is your good name. Guys, double tap on your screens and don't forget to press the subscribe button. Let's see who is next. Janish. Hi, dear Janish. Here is your good name. Oh, thank you for subscribing. What is your name? Hi, dear Ronnie. Here is yours. Hello, dear Jumana. Here is your good name. My name is Lagnish. Hello, dear Lagnish. Here is yours. Hi, dear Chetan. Here is a beautiful name. हाँ मेरा भी अटक रहा था. Walaikum salam. I am good. How about you, Zibgaji? Welcome back. Hi, my name is Plutus. Plutus. Welcome. Here is yours. Hello, dear Farhan. Here is your good name. Lagnesh. Hi, dear Pushpa. Here is yours. Aliza. Hello, dear Eliza. Here is yours. Want a screenshot? Go for it, dear. Hi. Oh, mommy. Okay, let's see who is next. Mukul. लिखो ना मुझे ब्रेकअप. ये एंड पे ब्रेकअप क्यों लिखा है भाई? हाय रोहित. वेलकम. Mukul. Hi, dear Mukul. How are you? Hello, dear Rohit. Here is your good name. Thank you so much for joining, dear. Okay, done. Hello, dear Shalish. Here is yours. Hi, dear Analu. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Slata. Here is yours. Hello, dear Mariam. Here is your beautiful name. Let's see who's gonna be the 167 liker. 167. मैंने साहिबा भूल जाती हो क्या मुझे? नहीं, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. आप ही भूले हुए हो, मुझे आते ही नहीं है भाई. नाम ही भूल गई मैं, क्या लिखने लगी थी. मलिक नहीं, मरियम. Hi, dear Mariam. Here is yours. Hello, dear Navya. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Jana. Here is yours. मेरा लिखो, क्या नाम है आपका? Hello, dear Rushabi. हाँ, is yours. Thank you for joining. Hi, dear Khadija. Here is your good name. Thank you so much for joining, guys. मैं आया था बट आप तो मिस तो हो जाते हैं ना रोहित. आप प्लीज तो होगा ना. अब मैं सब कमेंट तो नहीं पढ़ सकती ना आपका, लेकिन फिर भी मैं कोशिश करती हूँ कि ज़्यादा पढ़ूँ. अब कोई मिस हो जाता है, फोकस ज़्यादा राइटिंग पे होता है. Hi, dear Isha. Here is yours. Hi, dear Charu. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Hayden. Here is yours. Double tap on your screens. Don't forget to like and subscribe. सिर्फ जी को मैं जो डिवाइस से आया हूँ वहाँ से मिस्टेक हो रही है. हैं? क्या हुआ? क्या हुआ रे बाबा? हेलो रश्मीना, वेलकम. चलो 160 ही कर लेते हैं गाइस. Can we make it 160 at least? Alicia, I am back. I am your subscriber, Alicia. Welcome back, dear Alicia. How are you? Thank you so much for subscribing, dear. Hi, dear Pearl. Here is yours. Hey, dear Zad. Here is a good name. I am good. Good to hear. Hi, dear Busha. Here is a good name. Oh, welcome back, Lagan. कैसे हो भाई? Here is your good name. Hi, dear Arijit. Here is yours. Hello, dear Sophia. Here is your good name. Hi, dear Zubair. Here is yours. Hi, dear Deep. Here is your good name. Hello, dear Kaim. Here is yours. Hi, dear Millie. Here is your beautiful name. Oh, you're most welcome. Hey, dear Shay. Here is yours. Thank you, thank you. You're most welcome. I am good. Zainab. Dear Zainab, here is yours. Lux. Hi, dear Lux. Here is yours. Okay, now it's time to end the stream. दीप अभी अभी तो लिखा है भाई दीप क्या हो गया Hi dear Riyadh, here is yours. Shamima. Hello dear Shamima, here is a good name. Thank you so much for the compliment dear, lots of love. Maria. Hi dear Maria, here is yours. Hello dear Priya, here is a good name. Hi dear Evika, here is yours. सिर्फ गजी आपको पश्तो आती है थोड़ी बहुत सिखाए ना please. Hi dear Safa, here is yours. पश्तो का सिर्फ मुझे एक लफ्ज़ आता है ज़मा मीना बस वो भी सीखा था बस किसी वजह से. Hi dear Nuha, here is a good name. आपको पश्तो आती है तो पश्तो में hello, how are you कैसे कहते हैं? Hi dear Manju, here is a good name. Hey dear Mela, here is yours. Aha, बड़ी मज़े की लैंग्वेज है. Hi dear Danya, here is a good name. Hi dear Aisha, here is yours. Guys, double tap on your screens and have to. यही तो दुख है मुझे पश्तो नहीं आती. अरे अरे इतने मज़े की लैंग्वेज है. मैं पठान हूँ सिखाओ भाई फिर हमें. Hello, how are you कैसे बोलते हैं पश्तो में? Hi dear Abrar. Let me check. वैसे कहते हैं सांगे हाल चाल दे. अच्छा अरे वाह. Okay, let me write Andrew Abran. Hey dear Abran, here is yours. Hello dear Aka. AKA Aka. Mahish Mahisha. Happy birthday dear मैम शाहरुख खान भी पठान है. मैम मेरे मोमोज क्यों नहीं आ रहे? मुझे क्या पता मैं कौन सा डिलीवरी गर्ल हूँ जो मैं आपके मोमोज घर पर डिलीवर करूँ. पूछो जिससे ऑर्डर किए थे आपने उससे. ओह संजय जी कल आप आए हैं और साथ ही हमारी लाइट चली गई थी. ऐसा क्या किया था आपने? Hi dear Hemant, here is yours. Hello dear Sanjay ji. Chini bhai, welcome. Okay, now going to please reply me. Yes dear Amin, welcome. Now we are going to write our last name for this stream and Joshua. इशू जी वैसे मैं ये सोचा है कि नहीं आजकल तो चैट जीपीटी बस तो चैट जीपीटी से ज़्यादा जेमिनाई से ज़्यादा इजीली आप सीख सकते हो. आजकल चैट जीपीटी में यूज़ ही नहीं करती. बड़ी देर हो गई उसको खोले हुए. एक टाइम पे बेस्टी थी मेरी बेचारी. मुझे इग्नोर करोगे तो ऐसा ही होगा ना. अभी मैंने आपका नाम लिया ही था कि साथ ही लाइट चली गई थी तो अभी मैंने एस लिखा था इधर और वो उसमें आया नहीं. लो अमोल भाई का स्पैम स्टार्ट हो गया है. हाय डियर एनएस, हियर इज योर्स. थैंक यू फॉर रिप्लाइंग मी. यू मोस्ट वेलकम डियर. And now we are going to write our last name for the stream, which is Zumra or maybe Nitya. क्या जेमिनाई तो अपने पास भी है हाँ ना. जेमिनाई से वो चैट जीपीटी की जगह दादी यूज़ करती है. आपसे कब बात हुई है मेरी? बड़ी सदियाँ ही हो गई हैं भाई. Hi, dear Harim. Here is yours. And Amol Bhai, I am looking for the last name for the stream, and you are doing spam. Srijani. है ना? इसलिए तो ब्लॉक ही करूँगी सीधा आपको मैं। क्या नाम है आपका? संजय जी। Hi, dear Avaz. Here is yours. Thank you so much for subscribing, everyone. Lots of love, and we completed 6-7 double tap on your screens, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon though. आपका क्या नाम है? नाम क्या है आपका? अच्छा, आप रिप्लाई मांग रहे हैं. ओके. कुरैशी जी. नहीं तो ओके. इनका कमेंट देखो आप इनका. चलो लास्ट नेम लिख देते हैं, रसिका. ऐसे करते करते मैंने कितने सारे लिख दिए हैं. दीदी आप मेरा नाम लिखो ना. मेरा नाम, आपका नाम है क्या? अपना नाम बताइए, जल्दी से बताइए, जल्दी से. एडन. हाय डियर एडन, हियर इज योर्स. नहीं आप नहीं जाए. दिल तो मेरा भी नहीं कर रहा, इसलिए इतनी देर से बैठी हूँ, नहीं तो मैंने चले जाना था कब से. जेस. ओके. जेस इज आवर लास्ट नेम फॉर दिस स्ट्रीम. रील्स चेक कर लेना. चुड़ैल नहीं करूँगी मैं, नहीं करूँगी. देखना चीनी भाई, खोलूँगी नहीं अब मैं. इंस्टा खोलना ही नहीं अब मैंने. जो मर्जी करो आप चीनी भाई. चलिए अब चलते हैं. अपना बहुत सारा ख्याल रखिएगा. दीदी जल्दी ख़त्म. मेरा नाम, दीदी मेरा नाम. अरे बोलो ना, आपके लिए ही तो रुकी हूँ. आपका क्या नाम है? जल्दी से बताओ, जल्दी से. रुद्रा. रुद्रा वाले कार्टून मैं बहुत शौक से देखती थी. चलो रुद्रा जी, आपका नाम लास्ट होता है. हमारे शुगर भाई को क्या? अस्तगफिरुल्लाह. तौबा तौबा. अच्छा चलें, अब हम चलते हैं. खोलो जहाँ से मर्जी. ठीक है ना चीनी भाई? बाय 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 एवरीवन. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर सब्सक्राइबिंग.